Hey, how you doing? My name is Nate. For those who know me and those who don't, I ask the Lord blesses my tongue as I tell you guys this. This one was basically about me. This is November 2017. I was praying to the Lord and asking him, what should I eat? What shouldn't I eat? Because some church people came out to my home and they was telling me something different. Now, the Lord told me Deuteronomy chapter 14, and I continue to repeat that. And I don't know why, but the Lord continued to repeat that. Once I finally went in and started paying attention to what it was and started writing it down and went back and read it, it was everything that I asked the Lord about. All right, here's one from December 2017. Okay, I'm outside, I'm walking around, there's other people out here as well. I'm outside in some large apartments. I look at the sky. It's like someone threw something at it and hit the sky. It starts to break and shatter. The sun is out and the sky starts to turn like a grayish purple. Now, where the sky is cracked, it fell to the earth like glass, as well as other things that fell. Every place that the sky broke, light shined through, or basically light shined through the darkness of every place that it broke. Now I see planes, UFOs, and other things that rain from the sky. I tell the people around me everything that I dream is happening now. Not even sure if the people were paying attention to me or not. So I look at the sky. There's something important about the sky. I'm not sure what. There's a circle around the sun where the sun shines. It's a space around the sun. It's a space around the sun that the sun has a circle around it. The sky is grayish. It's cracking. Only the circles with the sun is only the circle with the sun is in it. Now light remains, but the light in it remains untouched. I'm not sure if the sun is real or not, but it looks a yellowish color. I look around to see my friend. I look around to see my friend get into a truck to get ready to go to work. He's driving door to door, picking up people. Now I run toward him to stop him. I don't see him, I run toward him to stop him, but he doesn't see me. He keeps driving. He parks his truck outside of someone's apartment. I look around and notice I'm lost in this apartment complex. I'm worried, so I run. Now, when I'm close to the truck that he was driving, I look and he's not in it, but I know that he's inside of the apartment. Then someone yells, "He's inside the apartment." So I look at the sky, it's still cracking and falling. So I watch for a while and then I run, still looking for him while things continue to fall from the sky. I run and step over a speed bump going onto the sidewalk. I see UFOs, little planes, and something that looks like rain, but it's not. I look in the sky. I see a hammer and blocks that never fall. The hammer and blocks means judgment. Just like at a court, you see the hammer and the blocks or whatever, judgment. Okay. So I see the hammer and the blocks in the sky that never fall. I notice the hammerhead is facing earth, but it doesn't fall. The hammer and the blocks are very important. I'm not sure why they're very important. When the planes that fall touch me, they sting. So I run trying not to get hit. I look for a phone to call my parents. I find one and I call my mom. She answers and says, and I say, the stuff I dreamed is happening now. I hear her boyfriend and he says something in the background. I tell my mom, tell Ricky, tell him too. So I don't think that they believe me. So now I call my dad, but I get no answer. Now the reason why that part is there is because God basically said non-believers. Okay. So I run behind some cars and trucks and I look at the sky, still breaking apart and still falling. I see UFOs, but keep running. I run across the street. I see the men who are in the sky that are no longer in the sky, but now they're here on earth. The three men are on top of a white van. I look at them and the people around the van. I say, these are the three men from the dreams, from my dream. They were in the sky. They're on top of the roof of this white van, reaching into the sky or reaching into heaven. They're spilling out large peanuts like treats or gifts. They're spilling them out of the sky, reaching into this hole, spilling them out of the sky. They fell on top of the van and then onto the ground. Suddenly, the peanuts that were on the ground, they were gone. They just disappeared. So I walk over to the three men on the van and I ask, may I have a peanut? One man reaches into the hole in the sky, which is heaven, directly above his head, and pulls out one and hands it to me. I say thank you. I notice that a woman is with the three men. She had not been with the three men. She had not been with them in my dream about the three men in the sky. As the man had given me my peanut, he passed others to children and others, giving of heavenly gifts. I turn to run and I hear my friend call my name. I see him across the street. Suddenly he's gone now. I see two cars pass by me. The first car, the roof is made of peanut butter. The second, the full side below the window is also made of peanut butter. I look up to see a third car as well. I look up to see a third car pass me by as well. The rear is made of large candy canes. I look across the street, and on the staircase leading up to the front door of the first floor apartment facing me is also made of large candy canes and Christmas stuff. It's all over the stairs. I run across the street to my right and past a few cars. I see a white truck. I'm standing at the rear or the back of the truck. I look into the pickup part of this truck. I see teddy bears, two large laundry baskets, and a large spider on his back in the second basket to the right. And it starts to move its legs. All of it is made of candy, like gummy bears, or like gummy candy. So I think I need to get this to eat so that we don't starve. I hear a voice that says, don't loot. That's the Lord. He says, don't loot. And the stern voice is God. It didn't come from anyone around me. Suddenly, I'm giving everything away to the people and children who are now around me. So I tell someone, all I want is this teddy bear. So that's all I keep. I hug the teddy bear tightly. Suddenly, I'm in the store preparing. I'm trying to get the things that I need while people around me are looting. Now I'm at the end of a row, but on my knees looking for a flashlight. My son and his friend come running over to me, trying to give me something. I hear a voice say, only take what you need. So I turn to my son and his friend and I say, no, we are only taking what we need. I look at the flashlight and take one. I look at my son and say, we need batteries. He says, okay, and we run to get them. I look on the end of the rack of this row and I see batteries hanging, so I get some. Suddenly, I'm standing but bent slightly, looking between the store shelves. I see a man walking over the counter to get to the other side, so I walk around the row to get to the man. When I get to him, he's leaning against the wall. I look up to see two more men walking toward the door, coming to us. I look at the first man against the wall and say, Do you remember me telling you about my dreams? Well, it's happening now. He looks at me and may have nodded and said, I know. I look to my right to see two women that look very worried. Someone walks behind them and says, it's all right. And someone else, I'm not sure who it is. I look at the three men because I know they're important. I ask, can I shake your hands? The other two men stepped forward to me. When they came to shake my hands, I noticed something about their hands. Each man's hands that reached for mine. Each man's hand that reached for mine. It was almost as if they had arthritis or unable to support a handshake, or maybe just old, almost curved into a claw, but not an actual claw. They hold their hands out for mine, and I shake their hands. They are very important men. They're important men, very important men. I look up to see someone trying to comfort the women. Then someone sticks their head through the back door, and I follow them out. Now we are all outside, and the 3 men are gone. It's sunny, bright, and the sky is no longer breaking, like it never happened. The sky is normal and beautiful. Now we're walking, and out of nowhere, a few steps into walking, we all started running. And after a few feet of running, we were immediately stopped. A huge wall burst out of the ground, covered in ice, directly in front of us. This wall is huge. You can't see over it or around it. I watched the ice. I watched the ice wall for a quick second or two. Then the ice on the wall shattered as if someone threw something at it, but no one did. The ice on the wall shattered in less than a second. It broke apart, and then the ice was gone. It wasn't even on the ground. It was as if it vanished, not even on the ground. One of the ladies with me asked, "What is that?" I tell her, "It's the great wall between the worlds." She says, "Huh?" I tell her, she says, "Huh?" I tell her, "It came from Antarctica." So I walk to the side of the group of ladies, then turn and look at the wall. The wall is amazing. It's made of some kind of metal, but may not even be metal. Something I've never seen before. Maybe metal mixed with rock or some type of substance. It's not smooth. It's not smooth. It's not a smooth wall either. This wall is solid, not smooth, and it looks like it was built this way. There are some kind of markings all over this wall. And it looks like parts are built onto other parts of the wall, just built that way. And it's not a man-made wall, not at all. Now, while in this group of ladies, I say God says we have the power to do something, but I'm not sure what it was. It could have been fight. I say God wants us to do it spiritually, not physically. It has to be done from inside, from within, not from outside, which is without, but it has to be done spiritually. So I touched the girl's forehead with my 2 fingers between her eyebrows. Here, the third eye. So I turned from the group of ladies to focus on the wall. I climb onto the wall, the front part of this forever wall, to get a better look at it and the markings on it. This wall is hard, solid hard. I climb down from the large wall and look at it again, and it's gone. Okay, basically what God was saying or showing me here is it's time for judgment and tribulation. He was showing me everything that's going to happen. Things are going to start falling. People are going to notice UFOs. Planes were going to start falling, which at that time, when I told you guys this, it started to happen. He was showing me Christmas. When we think of Christmas, what do we think about? The North Pole. Christmas things and candy canes and all that stuff, we think about the North Pole. Then the Great Wall came up, and somebody asked what it was, and I told them it's the Great Wall between the worlds. And that's what it was, the Great Wall between the worlds. And it came from Antarctica. Antarctica is the North Pole. Because not many people realize that there's really no such thing as North Pole, South Pole, all that other stuff. It's Antarctica. The North Pole is Antarctica. So let's go ahead and get it out there, whatnot. The third eye, which is the video before this, I told you that the devil touched me there and told me he intervenes from there as well. The Lord wants you to fight from there as well. Right here between your third eye is basically your antenna to God and his antenna to you. Also, it's your antenna to the spiritual world as well. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one and start on the next one or whatever. But God does want you to fight from there. Fight from within, not from without. Within your soul, within your body, with your heart, your mind. When it becomes one, then you start to create, okay? So I just want you guys to know that one. So I'm going to end this one and head on to the next one.